We have been immersed in a super powerful energetic gateway in the days leading up to the solstice, since the 12/12 portal day and last Sunday's full moon in Gemini, and much more on the full moon in Gemini later in this podcast. It's been the final grand energetic portal of this momentous year of 2024, as our bodies and spirits are being further refined in preparation for the dawning of the sacred year of 2025. Many of you have been feeling all sorts of energetic activations and upgrades going on during this powerful portal. Make sure to stay hydrated and ground yourself during this intense time. I'm going to focus this section of the podcast on the significance of the winter solstice and Yule, since most of my listeners are in the northern hemisphere. The winter solstice became exact today, on Saturday, December 21st at 4:20 a.m. New York time, which was 9:20 Greenwich Mean Time. The winter solstice also marks the beginning of Yule. In the pagan traditions, Yule is a festival celebrating the longest night of the year and the return of the sun, as after the solstice, the daylight gets just a little bit longer each day. So the winter solstice is seen not as a time of darkness, but a time of rebirth. It is the return of the Sun King. It's a good time to ask yourself how you can become reborn. How can you be reborn into a new version of yourself? During Yule, it is a time to focus and meditate upon peace and love, and to reflect with gratitude upon the previous year. No matter which holidays one celebrates, be them Yule, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, etc., they are all holidays centered around celebrating peace, love, family, abundance, and gratitude. Except, of course, Festivus, which is more about airing your grievances and feats of strength. But happy Festivus nonetheless. A great way to traditionally honor Yule is to light a Yule log. The Yule log originates from Celtic traditions. An oak tree would be felled, and the entire trunk would be brought into the home and put on the fire. It was believed that the longer the trunk burned, the faster the sun would return. Nowadays, it's customary to simply take a small log, dress it up with seasonal decor, be pine needles and red ribbons if you want to be real simple, and mount candles to the top of the log. If you'd like to make it into a magical ceremony, you can pick the candles that represent what you'd like to call into your life or into your home for the coming year and light them with visualization and intention. For example, you could use a green candle to represent money or a light blue candle to represent peace. And please let me know in the comments if you are planning on doing a Yule log or if you already did. It is also, of course, the official beginning of the winter season in the northern hemisphere. Winter time is a time of hibernation for nature, so it can be a time of hibernation for us as well. The holidays are a time to remind ourselves that it's important to take a time out from the grind of trying to grow and succeed, and to just relax, rest, retreat, read, watch movies, connect with family, etc. Christmas, which of course is really based on the ancient tradition of Yule, is a celebration. People tend to be more jolly and grateful around Christmas time, which is just how the pagans have been celebrating Yule for thousands of years. The solstice time is a great time to be extra grateful for all of the blessings in your life and to place your thoughts on exactly how you want to see your 2025 go. Who do you want to be in 2025? What do you want your life to look like in 2025? How do you want your 2025 to feel? Take a moment if you like, pause the podcast and do some thinking or journaling on this. 2025 is a 9 universal year in numerology, so it seems as if it will be a year where lots of long-standing karmic cycles will wrap up. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you go to the pinned comment below the description box, you can find all my links, including my YouTube channel. Not only will I be dropping a new Stars Align episode soon, but also a full 2025 energetic and astrological preview. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel. That's Matthew John Spiritual Teacher, so you can check out the 2025 preview when it comes out. If you'd like to start your 2025 off right and put yourself on the highest possible timeline to have the best year possible, sign up for my popular Ascending as One program for January. You'll get access to the January 5th live Stepping in Your Highest Timeline for 2025 Masterclass, plus up to 6 more classes, 3 live, 3 recorded, and if you want a private reading with me as well. So it definitely would be the best possible way to start off your 2025 is signing up for Ascending as One in January. And if you're interested, you can go to the pinned comment and go to the course events and retreats section on my website, or just go to youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org, and go to the courses, events, and retreats page. Happy Capricorn season. Capricorn season arrived when the sun entered 0 degrees and 0 minutes of that sign today on the solstice. Capricorn is associated with the material world, the earth, structures, hard work, and legacies. It is the cardinal earth sign, as it initiates the season of winter in the northern hemisphere. It is ruled by stubborn, serious Saturn. Saturn is the builder, and it is also in charge of legacies and structures. It is also the planet of karma. In ancient Rome, a festival called Saturnalia would be held around the winter solstice time in order to honor Saturn. In Roman mythology, Saturn was said to be the god that ruled over an agricultural golden age. Saturnalia was a time of partying and gambling in ancient Rome. Gag gifts were exchanged. However, it got kind of dark as well, as supposedly dead gladiators were offered as human sacrifices, and it should be noted that Saturn rules over the Illuminati and dark occult practice. And also it should be noted that Gladiator 2 was released right around the holiday season, and a lot of people will be seeing it in theaters on Saturnalia. And having observed this stuff for decades now, I can tell you that timing is certainly no mistake. As the sun switches from fiery, fun, and adventurous Sagittarius to more serious, reserved Capricorn on the solstice, life can all of a sudden feel more serious and sullen. And if you're perceptive, you might start to really feel the instantaneous change that takes place when the sun exits one sign and enters another. There's no gray area as it's moving. It's one moment it's in Sagittarius, and the next it's in Capricorn. And you'll feel the difference. If you're perceptive, you'll feel how tomorrow the energy just will feel more still, more stable, more serious, more practical, and that's because we've entered into Capricorn season. However, Capricorn's direct, persistent, and hardworking nature, after all, Capricorn is a cardinal sign, can give us a sense of feeling reignited and re-inspired to get stuff done. Capricorn is certainly the most productive of signs. Without its energy, no home or building would ever finish being constructed, books and movies would be left unfinished, and roads would just abruptly end, leading to nowhere. A la Idiocracy, the 2006 satirical film. Capricorn's energy has built the entire world, literally. So especially if you're someone that has struggled completing tasks, you can harness the energy of Capricorn season to readdress, get working on, and actually finish tasks and projects on your to-do list, especially those that have been on the to-do list for a while, or have been put on the back burner with Mars retrograde in Leo and Mercury in its post-retrograde shadow phase in Sagittarius. Capricorn also has to do with anything that is practical, mundane, or repetitive, like your daily rituals. With the Capricorn energies emphasized, ask yourself, what healthy and supportive rituals did you used to do that really help? Pick a few of these and recommit to implementing them into your daily routine during Capricorn season. We all have those rituals that, we used to do when maybe we were really rolling and, things were going well. And then they fell by the wayside. And the funny thing is, if you think back, to a time in your life when things were going really well, or maybe you're in that place now, the daily rituals you were doing, whether it was yoga or meditation or Tai Chi, or juicing, or jogging, or Pilates, or whatever, those daily rituals were probably, if you look back and think about it, a fundamental reason why you were doing so good, or why you're doing so good now. So do me a favor, let's support each other as a community. Type in the comments below what supportive daily rituals are you going to either re-implement, or maybe new ones that you want to try, or what's working for you now as we approach Capricorn season here. And let us know in the comments, please. Capricorn's glyph, or symbol, is that of a sea goat. It has the horns of a mountain goat and the tail of a fish. It is the ruler of the 10th house in astrology, which is the house of ambition and social status. The midheaven, or MC for short, which represents the highest point the sun reaches in our individual charts, sits at the beginning of this house. The 10th house rules over our career and how we act, show up, and are perceived in the outside world. This house shows us as we are when we're fully illuminated and visible to the outside world. It's a good time now to check in with yourself on where you are with your current career. Are you feeling totally satisfied with your experience of the 10th house? Or is it time for a change? If you're confused, let me help. I've been guiding people through career confusion and transitions for well over a decade now. Sign up for my Ascending as One VIP program to get a reading with me in January or February, and I can certainly help you with that. And again, for all the details on Ascending as One, go to the pinned comment below and go to the link for my courses, events, and retreat. And also, if you would like to consider a career as a tarot reader, my 2024-25 comprehensive tarot reading course is upon us. The course resumes with live class number 2 of 15. That's right, 14 more live classes on Sunday, December 29th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the tarot course at the end of this podcast, so stick around till then. Full moon in Gemini. Happy full moon in Gemini. This full moon at approximately 24 degrees of Gemini became exact on Sunday, December 15th at 4:02 a.m. New York time, which was 9:02 Greenwich Mean Time. On this full moon, we are trying to find a balance and resolution between fiery, impassioned, adventurous, and philosophical Sagittarius, where the sun was on this full moon, and Gemini, which will be the primary focus of this podcast. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. It rules the third house, which is the house of communication. It is a mutable air sign, making it the airiest of air signs. Gemini is the ruler of the mind, the intellect, and of communication. It is represented by the twins. According to Wikipedia, in Greek mythology, Gemini is associated with the myth of Castor and Pollux. Pollux was the son of Zeus, who seduced Leda, while Castor was the son of Tyndareus, the king of Sparta and Leda's husband. Castor died because he was immortal. Pollux begged his father Zeus to give Castor immortality, which is done through uniting them together in the heavens. Gemini is also the busy social bee of the zodiac, being the most adaptable sign in the zodiac. When we are under Gemini's influence, people tend to be more open and receptive to meeting and connecting with new people. It is a lucky time to network and form new romantic connections, friendships, and business partnerships, as well as the perfect time to reconnect with old friends and connections, especially with Mercury now being in its post-retrograde shadow phase and Mars being retrograde in extroverted Leo. Mercury is the main attraction on this full moon, not only is it the ruler of Gemini, but it was stationed on the full moon day, activating it to an extreme degree. Mercury was stationed in Sagittarius, making us want to express ourselves with passion and intensity. Mercury's slow movement is causing some pretty extreme communication difficulties, especially with written communication like text messages and emails. Give people the benefit of the doubt at this time. We are also seeing lots of travel delays and issues and lots of problems with electronics. It can be a trying time that is perhaps testing our patience. Over the next week, Mercury's shadow effects will be strong, producing Mercury retrograde-like effects. With an exalted Neptune squaring the Sun, miscommunications and even deception will abound, and much more in Neptune later in this podcast. On the positive side, it is easier than ever before right now to strike up a conversation with someone new, so go for it. Humans are social beings and we love being listened to. Gemini rules over social gatherings, social hierarchies, and cities. So over the next few weeks, it's a great time to frequent parties, bars, holiday celebrations, concerts, sporting events, cafes, museums, restaurants, etc. With Mercury moving slowly and sextiling Venus, and with Mars retrograde in super extroverted Leo, we are also looking to the past and reconnecting with old friends, family, and even romantic flames. With the slow-moving Mercury trining the retrograde Mars, we're feeling ambitious about tackling things that have been stuck on our to-do list for a while. Rather than it being a time of innovation, it's a time to take care of business, especially stuff that we've been putting off for a while. Gemini rules over writing as well, so now is the perfect time to get out your journal and write out your thoughts and insights about your life. It's a great time to brainstorm on your future. What inspirations are coming in for you at this time? Communication really is the name of the game on this full moon. This is a time to refine our communication in all ways. With the huge emphasis in this full moon chart on communication, I want to present a teaching on learning to listen better. The mind tends to be constantly overactive and overstimulated. We're all living in our own internal worlds, understanding one another just enough to live in somewhat of a functional and cohesive society, with obviously much improvement yet to be had. With all the mental chatter, most people tend to miss the details of life. One of the things I've always prided myself on is attention to detail. For example, spelling errors bother me to no end. I especially like to sit in my backyard or walk somewhere in public and observe the little details of life. I like to spot the different types of birds and all the different colors of the flowers and even the chemtrails in the sky. I also listen to detail. I hear all the sounds that the birds make. I listen to the subtlety of the wind rustling through the trees. Learning to listen better will make you a much better communicator. For example, inexperienced interviewers really bother me, and you can tell that they're not actually listening to what the interviewee is saying, as they're just waiting until the person stops talking and thinking of the follow-up question. A great interviewer listens closely to what the person is saying and then ask spontaneous follow-up questions. Being a Leo rising, I could talk for 24 hours straight if I wanted to. I can literally walk up to any person anywhere and strike a conversation. I consider myself a conversationalist, and I'm a good one because I listen to what the other person is saying. The most important part of conversing is listening, and this is also what makes me a good spiritual life coach, mentor, teacher, etc. Make a commitment to listening more closely to what other people are saying to you. Make a pact with yourself to pay more attention to the sounds and sight of the world around you, and do your best to listen better to your inner world? What is going on inside you, both physically and emotionally? What inside you needs to be heard? Here are some other tips for practicing being a better listener. Listen to a song several times and focus on a different instrument or voice each time. And if any of you are a sound engineer or studied sound engineering, you know that like for a live music show, there is a feed coming in from each of the instruments and each of the vocals, and it's up to the sound engineer to blend it together into a beautiful symphony. Sit outside late at night and listen to faraway sounds. Listen to a podcast in one sitting, maybe this one, and then tell someone your main takeaways from it. Literally the best thing for comprehension is to try to teach what you just learned. Make a new friend, easier to do than usual following the Gemini full moon, and ask them compelling questions. Try to understand what it's like to be in their shoes. Gemini rules over the mind, so I'd like to now present a teaching on better using the mind. How to better use the mind. As I stated, Gemini rules over the mind. The mind can either be your worst enemy or your best friend. It all depends on your relationship with it. It's interesting to even contemplate what the mind is to you, because if I'm saying that you can have a relationship with your mind, then it implies that perhaps you are not your mind. What an interesting thought. It is my belief that your consciousness, using the mind as a tool to navigate experience. Buddhists and meditation experts know that the mind is intended to be a tool, but not a detriment. This is why mindfulness meditation practices, such as becoming the observer of thoughts rather than being a thinker, are very helpful exercises to assist in your spiritual evolution. One of the biggest underlying reasons for drug, alcohol, and sex addiction is that someone's relationship with their own mind has become so toxic that they need to escape their own reality regularly. This is, of course, a dangerous place to be and indicative of significant changes needing to be made. However, the negative momentum built up by depression and anxiety can make it difficult to pull oneself out of the doldrums. This is why the Gemini full moon is here, to remind us that it's okay to reach out to others for help. Now is not the time to try to handle everything internally if it feels like that is too large of a cross to bear. Reach out to trusted friends and family who tend to be helpful, or to trusted healers, coaches, and therapists. Gemini reminds us that we are all in this together, and although it is common to feel like an island in life, the truth is that whatever you've gone through or are going through, there's probably a lot of people out there who are going through something pretty similar. I get so many clients coming my way who are at the beginning stages of a spiritual awakening, and they're experiencing all sorts of weird things, energy running through their body, sleepless nights, feeling disconnected from reality, you name it. They tend to think they're either crazy or totally alone until they start discovering videos and YouTube channels like this one, only to realize with fascination that there's a whole community of people interested in New Age spirituality who commonly experience much of the same weirdness. Let's now learn a little bit about the different levels of the mind and how you can better utilize them. Conscious mind. This is where you actually do the thinking from. Believe it or not, this accounts for only about 5% of your thoughts. To become a more awakened being, it is necessary to use this portion of the mind to drive your actual experience in the direction of your desired experience. This is the realm of willpower. Subconscious mind. This is essentially the software programs for your life. Your outer reality will be a reflection of what is going on here. The patterns built into the software program are written before you turn 7 years old. Basically, you absorb the patterns of your parents and or those who raised you. The internal scripts that run in your voice inside your mind are created from things your parents or those who raised you habitually said to you when you were young. To live your desired life and to achieve your full potential, it is imperative to become aware of and then shift the negative subconscious patterns in your life. This can be achieved through therapy, energy healing, hypnosis, affirmations, and subliminal audios. The subconscious mind is responsible for approximately 95% of your thoughts. Unconscious mind. This is where traumas are stored, including birth traumas, such as being born in a cold hospital room, being delivered by unfamiliar hands, having the umbilical cord cut, and circumcision. The subconscious will create your life circumstances with the intention of making sure that you don't have to feel the traumas of the unconscious mind. The collective mind. We are all connected into one another through the existence of something called the field. There is a conscious collective mind, which is the amalgamation of the experiences, thoughts, and emotions of all 8 billion humans, and an unconscious collective mind, which is the part of the field that is wounded through trauma and karma, and thus asks for certain collective experiences to occur via the law of attraction. And this is the part of the collective mind, for example, that is currently asking for disclosure, as we are slowly seeing the governments of the world start to essentially admit that aliens are real. Oftentimes, when lightworkers or empaths are feeling down, you're really just empathing the conscious collective mind and need to disconnect from it in order to return to your own center, where the natural state of peace and joy can be found. Superconscious mind. This aspect of the mind is connected to the infinite, where the Akashic records are. Anything from the mind of God can be accessed. This is the realm where we access the perspectives and memories from the soul aspect, the higher self aspect, and the extraterrestrial aspect, aka your true galactic or intergalactic self, if you're a starseed. This is the realm of intuition. To use this aspect of mind consciously and intentionally, it is necessary to be relaxed. The conscious mind is the aspect of mind that you most readily have access to. If you can turn your conscious mind into your friend rather than your enemy, you'll find life becoming much more enjoyable and peaceful. Here are some suggested practices to enhance the usefulness of your conscious mind. Mindfulness meditation. Sit or lay down and breathe peacefully and deeply. Intend to become awareness and simply observe which thoughts come to you. You are not thinking the thoughts, you are observing them. Morning intention and visualization. The more that we live intentionally, the more that the conscious mind becomes an effective tool for transformation. There is no better way to start your day than to set a specific intention for the day, and then to visualize the day going exactly as you want it to. You can set an intention to work on something specific during the day, or it could be something more general like, I intend to live from my heart today. For the visualization, it is also helpful and feels great to visualize your desired future weeks, months, and years out. The more that you bring positive emotion into the experience, the higher the probability that it will actually manifest in your physical reality. Journaling or voice journaling. When you record your experience of life, it is very helpful in making sense of your thoughts and your life, so you no longer need to think in circles. Recognize when you're empathing someone else. When you're hearing negative thoughts in your head or judging yourself, or even speaking negatively towards others or judging others, take a step back and evaluate whether these thoughts are really yours. Chances are they're not. Chances are it is the voice of a subconscious pattern that your parents or caregivers or the words of someone around you, and you're empathing it. Recognizing this in the moment can help you to shift gears back to your center, your natural high vibration. Here's a good rule of thumb. If your thoughts aren't loving, supportive, and helpful, then they're not actually your thoughts. We have something called T fields in our aura, where the thoughts of others from our present and past are stored in the form of energy. When your thoughts are not loving, assume that you're receiving the broadcast of these T fields and not actually consciously thinking. Take back control of the vehicle of consciousness that is you and think some loving thoughts, or better yet, say them out loud, because this is even more powerful. Sun squares Neptune. Illusion, delusion, fantasy, and dreams. The Sun is currently squaring the exalted Neptune in Pisces, which is moving slowly, having just exited its station phase a week ago. It is in the final, most illusory, and most deceptive degree of Pisces, as Neptune in Pisces rules over illusion and deception. During this time, we are trying to figure out what is real and what is illusion, in our own lives and in the world. Be questioning of everything right now, even what you're experiencing in your own mind. Remember that you are consciousness, but not the mind. With Capricorn season upon us now, it's important that we keep our goals and aspirations somewhat realistic, or at least, while dreaming big, also keeping a realistic timeline in mind. This intense Neptune action can cause us to be unrealistic or even deluded if we aren't careful. Make sure you are understanding of what people mean when they say something, and make sure you are as clear as possible in your own speech with others. Miscommunications and misunderstandings will be rampant at this time. Our dream worlds are very active right now. It's a powerful time to receive messages in your dreams. It's a great time to keep a dream journal. If you don't feel confident in interpreting your dreams, email me at youaredivinehuman@gmail.com and ask me for a copy of my Dream Interpretation Masterclass for just $33. And for convenience, my email is in that pinned comment below the description box as well. The mysterious drones and orb sightings around the world recently, which likely, in my opinion, are mostly a product of Project Bluebeam type government exercises, a problem reaction solution ploy by the powers that be to pass stronger air surveillance and control legislation in the United States, and as the dominoes go, in other Western countries as well, are astrologically speaking, a product of Neptune and Pisces' intense exaltation and square to the sun. Wishing you a happy solstice, a blessed Yule, and a happy full moon in Gemini. With love, this is Matthew John. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, everyone. Please remember to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button before you go. I really appreciate it. And please remember to check out the pinned comment below the description box for all of my links. And I have 3 really exciting programs coming up that I want to tell you about. The Comprehensive Tarot Reading course, my Ascending as One program, and my Sedona retreat. So stick to the end if you want to hear about all 3. Let's start with the Comprehensive Tarot Reading course. What an amazing opportunity. Been interested in the tarot cards. You've gone to tarot readers. Maybe you've had a reading from me where I've incorporated tarot. This is such an incredible opportunity for you to learn this ancient divinatory art. And tarot really is the most accurate and the most detailed form of divination that I've ever come across, bar none. This course will literally take you from wherever you're at, whether you barely know the cards or you're a novice or you're more intermediate or even advanced. It can take you all the way to the professional level if you want to go there, or you can just get really, really good at the tarot and have the tarot as a lifelong friend. It's a companion that you can go to at any time, 24/7. If you're confused or upset about something in your life, or you want to help out a friend or family, or you want to impress people with your psychic abilities, the tarot is such an incredible tool to learn. There's a reason why the tarot has been a huge part of my journey for well over the past decade, and why I love to teach it. And this is without a doubt the best tarot course available on the internet. No one comes even close to what I have created with this. This is a 15-week comprehensive course, including 14 live classes. The first live class is Sunday, December 29th at 4 p.m. New York time. Each live class is 3 to 3.5 hours long, usually closer to 3.5. You get downloadable notes with each class. There's a book to go along with the course. You get a free 45-minute personal session with me where I will not only go over the course with you personally, but do some one-on-one tarot reading for you and teach you along the way as I'm reading for you as a companion to the course. And it includes a certification if you finish the course. It's very well priced. Compared to my colleagues, all of my stuff is so much more reasonably priced, and the tarot course is included. And for what you're getting, approximately 45 hours of live instruction plus one 3.5-hour recorded call. The value is unbelievable. And you save 20%, by the way, if you enroll in Ascending as One VIP. And I'll talk about Ascending as One in just a moment here. If you do Ascending as One VIP, you will save 20% on the tarot course. So a great option is to do both. And a lot of people are doing that. The tarot course is primarily on Saturdays. After the first live class, all the other classes will be on Saturdays. And the Ascending as One course is primarily on Sundays. So it's easy to do both. If you are interested, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. So you can go to that course events or retreats link, which is in the pinned comment below the description box, and you can check out all the details and the schedule of the tarot course. You can register right there, or if you have any questions at all about the tarot course, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. That's youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to go over all the details of the course with you, even to do a free phone consultation to see if it's going to be a good fit for you. Now let's talk about my Ascending as One program. This is my signature group mentorship program. It's the most popular way that people get in touch with my teachings and healings, and it's such an amazing experience. These are 3 to 4 hour master classes on Sundays primarily. The first hour is all astrology. I go over all of the astrological aspects that you need to know about for the whole week to come. And then after the astrology segment, we have an amazing healing topic for each week. In January 5th is Stepping in Your Highest Timeline for 2025. We're going to do a really robust energetic activation and group ritual to put you on your highest timeline for 2025. January 12th is Understanding the Human Energy Field. I'm going to teach you all about your energetic anatomy. January 19th is Astrology 101, so I'm going to teach you how to read a natal chart. How cool is that? By the end of the class, you should be able to do your own natal chart or read for others. And hey, if you love these astrology podcasts, which I hope you do, but you don't always understand what I mean, but when I say a square, or I talk about the North Node or the South Node, or a quincunx or whatever, You're going to learn all of that. You're going to learn everything you need to know to understand astrology at an intermediate level from this one class. So if you love astrology and you love these podcasts, make sure you join Ascending as One for January. And then if you do the VIP tier, January 18th is an overview of ET races and Syrian channeling. And this, so if you want to learn all about all the different extraterrestrial races, both benevolent and malevolent, that interact with Earth, this is going to be great because you're going to learn that in this class. Plus, you're going to get to interact with literally extraterrestrials, the Syrians, that I channel through. You're going to get to interact with them, and you're going to get to ask them your questions. So it's such a cool experience to experience the Syrian channeling. Plus, with the VIP tier, you also get a private reading with me. Get a private reading with me during the months of January or February. And these private readings are awesome. You can ask me literally anything, and I can tell you literally anything that you want to know. Go to that Course Events and Retreats page. Again, the link is in the pinned comment below the description box. Or you can just go to youaredivinehuman.org. That's all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org, and click on that Course Events and Retreats page. Now, if you enjoy listening to these podcasts, if you enjoy reading my articles, maybe you're on my email list, maybe you've done a private session with me, maybe you've done Ascending as One or the Tarot course or the Spiritual Life Coaching course, but you want to take things to the next level, the ultimate way of interacting with my teachings and my energy and all that I bring is to join me on one of my amazing spiritual retreats. And boy, do I have a great opportunity coming up in January. Our 2025 Sedona retreat is just a few weeks away now, January 29th through February 2nd. If you haven't been to Sedona, Arizona, it is one of the most important and most powerful spiritual vortexes on all planet Earth. It is literally a stargate. There are ships coming in and out of that portal all the time, and it is such a place of profound natural beauty as well. I'm renting out the best retreat center in all of Sedona with one of the best cooks in all of Sedona, and you're going to get to experience 5 days of bliss and of healing. My retreats are timeline jumping activities, meaning you come in on one timeline and you leave the retreat on a much higher timeline than you came in. Here's some of the highlights that you're going to get to experience at the Sedona retreat. Not only the most plush retreat accommodations and the healthiest and most scrumptious food, but we're going to do 4 different group hikes and group shamanic activations at 4 of the most powerful vortexes in Sedona. We're going to be at Cathedral Rock, Bell Rock, Boynton Pass Vortex, and the airport vortex as well. You're going to get to enjoy in-person trance-channeling sessions with me, where I trance-channel groups of extraterrestrials, and you'll get to ask them your questions. At recent retreats, some of the groups that have come through have been the Syrians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrans, the Arcturians, and I am looking forward to bringing through others as well. You're going to get to experience sound healings throughout the 5 days from my assistant and one of North America's most prolific sound healers, Kathleen Johnson. You're going to get to experience daily yoga and qigong sessions. You're going to get to experience journeys into past lives and into your star lifetimes and in person. I'm guiding you on this journey in person. You're going to get to experience energy healing from the team of angels that works with me in my quantum angel energy healing sessions, which some of you might have experienced remotely via Zoom or the phone, but you get to experience it in person. A lot of people see and feel the angels as they're being worked on, and so much more. 2 of the best parts of my retreats are, 1, they're incredibly affordable when you compare my prices to my colleagues. And I know I say this all the time, but it really is true. Check out the prices of other people in my industry that are on somewhat of a similar level of expertise, of being well known, and of experience. And my prices blow my colleagues out of the water. And I like to keep things affordable because I realize that not everyone can afford exorbitantly priced retreats. And not only are they priced very reasonably, but I roll out the red carpet for you. Everything is included once you get yourself to Phoenix. You can ride with us from the group hotel in Phoenix to the retreat center and back, and to all of the vortex hikes as well. So everything is taken care of. Just get yourself to Phoenix. Or if you live closer, you want to drive directly to Sedona, that's fine as well. I have a link to the digital brochure for the retreat, and it's in the pinned comment below the description box where everything is. Email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. If you're interested in the retreat, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you that are loyal listeners to this podcast. I definitely encourage you to check out my programs. And also, if you appreciate the hard work I put into these podcasts every other week, I spend a lot of time on this. And if you appreciate all the hard work and just want to leave me a gift for the holidays, you're welcome to. The link to donate is in that pinned comment as well. And also, I'm always looking for New Age creators. If you want to get on the Higher Self channel in 2025, email me, youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. That's youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. Wishing everyone happy holidays, happy solstice, blessed Yule. I look forward to speaking to you all on the upcoming new moon in Capricorn. Until then, everyone, please remember to be kind to yourself, to be kind to others, to be kind to animals, and to be kind to the earth. With love, this is Matthew John.